We are miracles. From the moment we came into this world, you loved us. You devoted your lives to us. Our happiness was your happiness. We cried. We laughed. We learned. You prepared us to become who we were meant to become. We are the future. That's what you told us. And it's true. We are the future. But not all of us. Mass shootings have become so common, and many of them have taken place in our schools. 17 people murdered in Parkland, Florida on Valentine's Day. According to the CDC, nearly 1,300 children in the US die in shootings each year, and almost 6,000 are injured. But to the loved ones of the victims, these aren't just statistics. These are friends. These are siblings. These are mothers, fathers, daughters. Guns like the AR-15 are used to commit the majority of the mass shootings, and yet they are still legal to purchase. This is hard for many of us to understand. The debate surrounding gun control in the US is complex, and both sides are passionate about their cause.
So you don't want my friend to have his gun like he has right now, open carry?
The gun industry accounts for many jobs and contributes around $51.3 billion a year to the economy. We have an overwhelming surplus of guns in our country. In fact, there are 67 million more guns in the US than there are people.
Guns are available to many people who should not have them. And while that's the case, I just don't know how these mass shootings are going to stop happening. Unfortunately, children and many others who should not have a gun have access to them. And that endangers the rest of the population. It's that simple.
Over 250,000 people die every year from gun violence, worldwide. These aren't just numbers. These are real people with real stories. For Manuel and Patricia Oliver, it was their son who was killed.
I left Joaquin. I dropped him in school at 8:30 that morning. He was carrying flowers for Tori. It was Valentine's Day, so I made some coffee for him, coffee for me. He gave a kiss to his mother. We'll listen to some music. And then when I reached the school, he said, "Okay, Dad, I love you." I said, "I love you too. Call me when you give Tori the flowers so you can let me know how that went." And he said, "Yeah, sure, I'll call you." And that's it. That was my last conversation with my son.
I was listening to the radio and I was looking at helicopters flying, and everywhere was so crowded. So it was like a very long trip. it was eternal.
When this happened, when February 14th happened, I found myself in a position that for the first time, I really needed to be a critic. In some way, Joaquin was demanding to someone to fight for his rights. And that someone is his mother and his father, which is Patricia and me.
We have to do something about it. We have to make a change.
We need to impact these people, so do whatever it takes. So I'll do whatever it takes.
So they turned their grief into action.
My name is Manuel Oliver, and I am Joaquin Oliver's dad.
When you see a father painting on a wall an image of his kid with blood over his chest, holding a death certificate, you are certainly impacting people.
And many who shared their grief also took action.
A sense of shared grief after a mass shooting can actually be really, really healing. It can set the stage for the person to feel supported and to begin to use resources, community resources, in a way that will help them to kind of heal better. So that is one way in which people move forward after such a horrible situation.
So let's move forward from the deaths. Let's make sure no more kids have to fear becoming a victim. The movement has already begun.
People marching in this country today will stop until they see those against us out of office, because we choose life!
Do you think any change is gonna come from this? Look around. We are the change.
A movement sparked by the youth of America, who has come together to say enough is enough.
That is the only way we will ever be able to make a difference.
Salute them and big those people up, because they going up against the grain too.
Together, we can turn the fear into love. Allow us to live, to grow, to be everything you hoped we would become, and we won't disappoint you. Maybe if you listen to us, we can have a country that's for the children and by the children. So, where do we go from here? That's up to you.